Bianca Belair reveals the first thing she said to Montez Ford after winning the Royal Rumble. Finn Balor sends a message to former and present members of the Bullet Club, and WWE reveals plans to have ticketed events again after WrestleMania. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Bianca Belair reveals the first thing she said to Montez Ford after winning the Royal Rumble. It was an emotional night for Bianca Belair at the Royal Rumble. She had just become the first African-American woman to win the Royal Rumble and did so in the Iron Woman of the match, winning from the number 3 spot. With all this in her mind, Belair revealed that she was thankful for the first person that saw backstage was none other than her husband, fellow WWE superstar Montez Ford. Bianca Belair signed with WWE back in 2016, a year after her husband, one half of the Street Profits, Montez Ford, joined. The two worked in WWE's Black and Gold brand on NXT for 2 years before getting married in 2018. They now wrestle as a part of the same roster on SmackDown. In an interview with Ryan Satin of Fox Sports, Bianca Belair revealed what was it like going backstage after her Royal Rumble win and seeing her husband waiting for her, saying, quote, "I'm just so blessed to be able to do what I love alongside the person I love, and to be able to have him as the first person that I saw when I came through the curtain and be able to hug him," end quote. Belair also spoke about the conversation the two had and how she asked Montez Ford if they could pray together, saying, quote, "I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't find my words. I remember just looking at him like, I don't know. The first thing that came to my mind was, can we pray?" He literally prayed for me and he prayed over me in that moment. It was just amazing just to be able to share that moment with him, end quote. Finn Balor sends a message to former and present members of the Bullet Club. Finn Balor has certainly taken note of the recent Bullet Club success and reunions all around the world of professional wrestling. Taking to Twitter, the reigning NXT champion sent a short message showcasing his gratitude towards former and present members of the faction. Currently in his second reign as NXT champion, Finn Balor will be defending his title next against Pete Dunne. A potential match against Hall of Famer Edge could also be in the cards for the champion, as the Rated R superstar teased facing the winner of the Balor vs. Dude match. Talking to Twitter, Finn Balor tagged a host of Bullet Club members from the present incarnation of the faction, including DC OGs Tama Tonga, Bad Luck Fale, and Carl Anderson. From the current version of the group, the Bullet Club originator also tagged Jay White, who has a lot of history with Balor himself. The NXT champion also tagged Luke Gallows, the Young Bucks, and former Bullet Club leader Kenny Omega, who are all currently a part of the Elite, but have claimed themselves to be the American version of the Bullet Club. Balor also mentioned Adam Hangman Page, who initially broke into the scene as a member of the Bullet Club and is currently a top star in AEW. Interestingly enough, Finn Balor's tweet also has mention of his fellow WWE colleague AJ Styles, the Phenomenal One, took over the Bullet Club after Balor had left New Japan for WWE, and the former IWGP Heavyweight Champion became the front runner for the faction. After his departure from New Japan, which also led to Finn Balor's exit from the Bullet Club, the former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion has found a lot of success in WWE. A two-time NXT champion, Balor has also won the Universal Championship in the past and has had a reign with the WWE Intercontinental Championship as well. Former Forgotten Sons member Steve Cutler comments on his WWE release. WWE recently announced the release of former Forgotten Sons and Night of the Lone Wolf member Steve Cutler. Cutler has taken to social media to comment on his release from the company. Steve Cutler and his partner Wesley Blake joined forces with former United States champion King Corbin several weeks ago as the Knights of the Lone Wolf. Before that, they competed on SmackDown as the Forgotten Sons, with Jackson Riker serving as the third member. However, neither Cutler or Blake has appeared on WWE TV in recent weeks. WWE confirmed on their social platforms that they parted ways with Steve Cutler, and the latter took to Twitter to comment on his release. Due to the 90-day non-compete clause, Cutler won't be able to perform for any other promotions for the next 3 months, but he is counting down the days when he becomes a free man. when the WWE plans to have ticketed events again has been revealed. If you thought the WWE Universe would be returning to Raw and SmackDown following this year's WrestleMania, in the words of Wade Barrett, I'm afraid I have some bad news. On today's WWE 2020 fourth quarter and full year earnings call, the company shed some light on its upcoming calendar year plans. WWE CFO Christina Salen confirmed on today's call that beyond WrestleMania, the company doesn't expect to have any ticketed fans in attendance until the second half of the year at the earliest. It is a move that shows WWE is taking the COVID-19 pandemic seriously and isn't rushing back to get WWE Universe back to weekly events, while the risk to do so is still incredibly high. WWE still hasn't determined how many fans will be in attendance at WrestleMania weekend this April. The show will be spread across 2 nights, similar to last year's event that was held with no fans inside the Performance Center. The company should have a cheat sheet to utilize after this weekend's NFL Super Bowl 50 that will be taking place at Raymond James Stadium, the same site at this year's WrestleMania event. The NFL's currently plans to hold 22,000 fans on this Sunday's event, and the fallout from that, good or bad, will probably heavily influence what WWE intends to do this April. Regardless of what happens, it sounds like WrestleMania will be WWE's last ticketed event for quite some time. The knowledge also puts future locations of WWE Thunderdome in question. If MLB starts on time, the company will have to move out of its current location by the end of April at the latest. Where they will move their high-tech setup from there is anybody's guess. Renee Paquette reveals ideas that were rejected in WWE. Former WWE commentator Renee Paquette has revealed a few ideas that she pitched that was rejected by the company. One of her ideas was to bring back Tuesday Night Titans, a talk show with wrestlers that aired back in the 80s. Renee Paquette, who went by the ring name of Renee Young, was with WWE from 2012 to 2020. She was an interview, pre-show host, and commentator in her 8 years with the company. While speaking with the Wrestling Classics Casual Conversation series, Renee Paquette opened up about a few ideas that she pitched when she was with WWE, saying, quote, "Yeah, tons of stuff. One thing that I've always wanted to do is bring back Tuesday Night Titans. I wanted to host, and I wanted Mean Gene to be my sidekick. I really wanted it. We never shot the pilot. It never got any legs at all. But something like that I would have loved. I pitched a couple of different food show ideas and things that I wanted to do, some cooking alongside wrestlers, trying to get a podcast up and running. The pitches of those never went too far anyway. Even just outside of Unfiltered, trying to expand the show and make it something else. Interview shows are always something that I love to do. I love being able to chat with people and hang out. But yeah, Tuesday Night Titans was something I really wanted to do." End quote. Thanks for watching today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories, follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.